Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Super Success Apparel. This is Jason, and thank you for even taking time to watch this video. This is literally the first video on this page where we get to have a little engagement. And what this whole channel is going to be about is a journey, and hopefully, this journey is with all of us. Super Success Apparel, we're a little bit different, and at this moment, it's really not. It's just freshly starting. Um, you know, really fresh. And it's an apparel line. And, slowly we're going to progress to that. Right now, we're doing shirts and sweaters. And we're starting like most do, shirts and sweaters. We haven't even hit hats yet. Like, we're just starting. And, there's a big picture here. But I think what makes us different is that we're not, I don't have this vision of the entire world wearing what I make. I kind of just want to be an apparel vision board, more or less, right? I want people that keep trying and keep hitting walls. Like, that's who I'm targeting. I'm targeting people that are doing overtime but don't want to do overtime because they need to survive, but they have other dreams. That's who I'm targeting. I'm targeting people that, the small business person, the hustler, the grinder, the person who isn't pretending they got it all figured out, but they're not giving up. Us. And so that's what this is about. And we spell super success SUPRSUCCSS. And people always like, oh, you left out the E. I left out the E because this isn't for everybody. This is for those that really know that in their grind, sometimes we slip, sometimes we forget, sometimes we procrastinate. But it's a reminder, like this one right here, Savage Hustler. Sometimes you got to remind yourself, yeah, that's you. You know you got this. Like, you got this. And, a little quick look walking by the store window, and you see the reflection, and you just might need a reminder. And that's what we're here for. And it's so awesome because, like, this new resurging passion that I feel for this, it's not in the same journey that most people tell their stories, right? I wasn't designing for no one else. I didn't do anything like that. What happened was years ago, and I mean years ago, and I'm aging myself, a friend of mine named Rob and I wanted to start a clothing line. And, because I used to do graffiti, and he was just so fashion in tune. I wasn't. I never cared about the dopest, the most expensive. I didn't care about none of that. I wasn't trying to be the cool kid with the clothes. I didn't care about that. I always wanted to be comfortable, and that was it. But my boy, he was the fly guy. He needed the newest this and and I didn't care for that. I still never cared for that. But tragedy struck and he was murdered, and I just kind of like talked myself out of my dream, and I was like, oh, maybe it's not meant to be. One of those things. And we tend to be our biggest saboteur. We sabotage ourselves so often, and I just kind of hung it up, and I felt like, oh, well, if it ain't both of us, then it's not meant to be. And I just let it go. And years pass, and, I have kids now, and so my 8-year-old, he's been, for like, since he was 4, he's been telling me he wants to be a YouTuber and a gamer, and, I know that's the way it is now, and I just always thinking he's going to change his mind, because my older kids, they change their mind all the time, right? So I'm thinking, he's going to change his mind. And he didn't. So we decide, you know what, let's try to support this journey. Let's try to figure this out. So I asking him about what does he see for this? Like, what kind of YouTube channel? What does he want to do? And he was like, oh, I want to have a channel where I'm playing games, and I want to have my own merch. Now, me being an old dude, I didn't know merch was short for merchandise. So I was like, merch? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, I want to have my own T-shirts and my own plushies and my own toys. And so when people go to my page, they can hit the link. And of course, I know people do that, but I have to, like, I have to follow him because he's like telling me his story. So I'm like, oh, that really happens? He's showing me people's YouTube pages, in the kid space, and they have links, and he's like, look at this, and I'm like, oh my God, my 8-year-old is like so in tune with being his own brand. And I was just like, all right, so how are we gonna do this, right? I didn't know how we were gonna go about this, and I knew that I didn't want to, start paying everyone else for him to have a dream. And I said, you know what, we're gonna do this together, and I'm gonna get on board. And this was at the same time the pandemic hit. So I taught myself Photoshop because I figured I'm home anyway. We were all home. We had to do schooling from home. So I said, you know what, give us some time. You're going to do the school year. Give me some time. Finish the school year and everything. And, then we'll come up with some characters and we'll create some stuff. But let me just learn. So I taught myself Photoshop. I taught myself Premiere Pro. So that way we could design stuff and I can edit whatever videos we're going to record for him, because I didn't want to hire out, because this is time with my child, right? Like, this is time with my kids that we can do something pretty dope, and it's a memory he'll have forever. And no matter what happens or doesn't happen in the progression or lack thereof for his YouTube channel when it comes out, he's always going to remember that it was us. And I couldn't let that go. So we didn't hire out. I didn't have no one teach me nothing. I don't know. I was the least tech savvy dude I knew. I didn't know anything. I pressed buttons. I just can type. That was it. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to teach myself. I go on YouTube, Photoshop 101, Photoshop for Dummies, basic Photoshop skills. All these were keywords. And I start teaching myself. Then I start doing photo manipulation. Then I start doing digital content. And I start going on and on and on and on. And now I'm creating. And then I start Premiere Pro, the same process, Premiere Pro. And as I'm creating these shirts, I said, you know what? Let me do test runs on, platforms that all you have to do is upload your artwork. And I did it on, Teespring, I think, was one of them. And there's another one. I think it has a P. I don't remember, but I loaded up some stuff. I made a couple sales. It wasn't really a big deal. I wasn't really advertising it because someone else controlled the quality of it, and I just didn't fit right. I don't like that. I have a problem with outsourcing when I can't control, and I know I'll have to work on that because outsourcing is a necessity. I understand, but I'm not ready for that yet. I'm still fighting that fight. I create all my own designs. I press my own shirts. I print my own shirts. I do everything because it's hard for me to trust someone to have the exact vision that's here. And I don't know if I'm conveying the message accurately, and I don't know if they're receiving it accurately. And I have to trust that in trial and error. So slowly I'll be working on that. But anyway, so I didn't like the quality of those shirts from those companies. I know people buy from them. I'm not knocking it. I don't like the quality. That's me personally. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm pretty sure there's some dope stuff because they make so much money, right? So clearly something's working. So then a friend of mine had, leaned me into the sublimation space. I never heard of it. And I saw some videos and I was like, holy shit, I could totally do that at home. That's pretty dope. I could get creative because it's my own, and I don't really need to just be stealing PNG files, and I could just create my own and just press it and see what happens. And, I invested, I bought a sublimation print, I bought an Epson that I converted to sublimation printer. I bought a Silhouette something for Cameo for. I don't know a lot of names of these things. I just buy them, which was very dumb because I bought one item that it was a vinyl cutter, and it wasn't even compatible with Mac. But I didn't really do the research because, that was stupid of me. And then I bought a heat press, which I should have bought a different one, but it was good for the price. It's still good. It's just the newer ones are a lot better. But I bought a lot of basic stuff just to get started. So my entire thing was about $2,000, maybe a little under $2,000 to get started, because I bought a bunch of shirts, transfer paper, ink, everything, right? And yeah, and I was very lucky. In the first month I made all my money back. No website. Etsy helped. I did the Etsy stuff for a little bit. Really Twitter. Just I post something and people be like, "Oh, you selling that?" Yeah, I make it. And that, just basic. I'm not even posting it like heavy. I'm just like getting a feel because, you know, it was so weird that I was starting this to make merchandise for my son, and I felt this resurge that I haven't felt since, you know, years ago with my boy Rob. And it was crazy. It just felt like now it was my time to really become one with this thing that just weighed on me for years, and trying all these other things to fulfill an empty space. And it just led me back to clothing, and here I am. And I'm not trying to make the most expensive clothes. I'm not trying to make the most you must have it the day it comes out clothes. I'm trying to make clothes for me and give it to the world. And it's kind of like, I don't want to lie. People are like, "Oh, I'm doing it for you." I am, but you're getting me, right? It's going to be comfortable. It's going to be the everything that's going to be on is going to be dope. No one else is going to have it. It's going to be dope. The message is going to be powerful. You know, you need to know that you are your greatest weapon, and you can also be your greatest enemy. And I just want to be the one that reminds you all the time to take another step. And that's what we're doing in this journey. So I'm going to cut it short because I am a long-winded dude. You'll learn that about me. Yes, things go by. You know, we'll be doing some pressing together. I'll show you some things that I'm learning. I'll show you some tricks that I've already picked up on. And, I really hope we grow together. And hopefully this can spark off somewhere where others can, start their own. Because this lane is never going to be packed. People wear clothes forever. It don't matter if it's a million different lanes, like a million different clothing lines in this lane. Don't hamper your dream. Don't think because of some type of event that may challenge you that it wasn't meant to be, like I did. And I let many years pass feeling empty with everything else that I've tried because I misled myself, and I was my worst enemy, and I sabotaged my dream because I thought my dream only had one ending, and when part of that was taken off, I felt like it couldn't end that way. But sometimes these challenges are there so that way you still tackle your dream, and there is an ending. It may not be the ending that you have planned, but it may be an ending that's greater than that. So if you love it, do it. If you like it, I love it for you. So don't give up. Come on, man. Super success, baby. We take out the E because it ain't for everybody. I'm hoping it's for you. Let's do this together. Come on, we savage, baby. Savage hustlers. All right. Much love. Peace.